In our everyday world, do wives and girlfriends make up stories about how their man or partner just made a bad decision? Plus, how often do spouses feel violated when the other half gets into their personal space? My name is Arroe. I'm a daily writer, a silent wolf. I stand on the sidelines and do nothing but watch, listen, study, then activate. I call it the Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. Yes, it's my morning writing. As a receiver of thoughts and ideas, we as people tend to throw things to the side and we're going to deal with it later. When a subject arrives inside of me, I know it's time to dig in. It's still keeping that daily journal. By doing the research, the pictures become clearer. This is the Daily Mess. Do wives and girlfriends make up stories about how their man or partner just made a bad decision? There are so many television shows and movies based on this very subject. Every expert says honesty is widely considered a virtue. But when it's all broken down, men and women both depend on the fib. This is going to scare you. Lying is looked upon as being a universal human experience. Research shows that men lead the pack when it comes to bending a story. The average person tells 1 to 2 untruths a day. 90% of them aren't even damaging. They're looked upon as being a white lie. Mental health professionals openly admit that lying is very common, but it doesn't make it right. But can anyone lead a life free of lies? It's looked upon as being radical. But the journey itself begins with reflection. In what you're sharing, is it justifiable? The daily quest is to endlessly reach for honesty, respect, and kindness. And here is a major shocker for you. Compassion is a fire starter. Lies begin inside compassion. It's even got a name. It's called protective lies. Hey, coming up next, how often do spouses feel violated when the other half of their life gets into their personal space? Hey, thanks for coming back to the Daily Mess. How often do spouses feel violated when the other half of their life gets into their personal space? First, it's got to be said, my daily writing and or journal keeping, it's open for my wife to look at anytime, 24/7. It's always there. We aren't afraid to speak of the things that create indifferences. Yet, it's very difficult for me to sit inside this recording studio knowing she can hear every single word I'm sharing. Could this be why men created the man cave and women went the way of the she shack? Research shows space and boundaries are extremely important. Both give the soul an enormous gift that replenishes personal growth. But. Too much space can be bad. It actually triggers moments that come across as being stubbornness. I never feel violated if my wife walks into the studio when I'm not here. My challenges truly are having the knowledge that she's listening to what I'm saying. And after 44 years of radio, why would this even be an issue? Because I'm not the best conversationalist. Just like anybody else, I trip. I say a lot. I also say I do really weird pregnant pauses. And I really get lost in a lot of thoughts. Although we've been married for 31 years, it's still very, very embarrassing to do what I do. And I know I'm not the only male or female that's going through this experience. It is a personal space. So when we speak openly, yeah, sometimes you can get a little too close. I'm Arroe, and that's the Daily Mess.